Hello and welcome to the Passo Sella ramp session. Roughly half an hour session, a warm up, a warm down, and sandwiched in between is gradually increasing effort over this beautiful climb, the Passo Sella, in the gorgeous Alta Badia region of the Dolomites. First part of the warm up, 3.5 minutes long, just to get yourself settled in. Spin those legs, and the climb itself, as you can see, stretching out in front. We're joined by Tom and Dan on the road today. 5.5 kilometers in length. Average gradient, a sniff under 8%, at 7.9%, and it climbs up mightily high, 2,244 meters above sea level. And interestingly, it's the third climb on the route of the Maratona. So around 2.5 minutes. Still of the warm up. Just take your time, bed yourself in, gradually increase that effort. Around an effort level of 3. And for this entire session, we're going to try and keep the cadence the same. So around 90, a little bit less if you prefer, a little bit more, whatever's comfortable, but 90 RPM is the guide for today's session. And once we've finished the warm-up, we're going to start our ramp at around 5.5% your perceived effort, and then gradually move it all the way through incrementally by half a point till we're maxed out at the end, or nearly maxed out at 10. And the increments are 2 minutes in length. So it's all about focus, keeping your rhythm nice and smooth. Just lift it a little bit now. Still just under a minute and a half of the warm-up to go. Effort level of 4. Should just feel things starting to bite. Remember, use your gears today to increase that resistance as we get further and further up the climb. And this session itself, it kind of mimics the kind of test you do in the lab if you're looking at finding out your various heart rate zones. Although we're not going to ride completely to exhaustion, I can guarantee you will be pretty exhausted at the end of this short but sweet session. Well into the last minute of the warm-up now. Just start to pick things up. Make sure you drink as well. Make sure you're fully hydrated before the session. Keep sipping all the way through. I'll try and remind you if I can. And I'm going to be riding today on a Cyclops hammer. I'm going to be altering the resistance myself, as I said, using my gears as we go through. So we're nearly on the first 2-minute section. So perceived effort level of around 5.5, and that's around 65% of your FTP if you're working to FTP. We're nearly there. So again, a really gradual increase this one. No panic, bed yourself in. So okay, perceived effort level of 5 now. You should be well in control. Just think about turning the pedals. So comfortable. And this style of riding is very good if you're riding long climbs. It's about getting through the first part of the climb in control and gradually increasing the intensity as the top of the climb nears. But again, no staccato style of riding. It's all about increasing the resistance gradually, incrementally, just gently turning that screw. We've got Lloydie on the front at the moment, just sat in his slipstream now. Let's look at the pine trees. 10 hairpins on the Passo Sella. So the average gradient, just under 8%, but it does pitch up at 13%. A couple of those hairpins. As I said, the key to this session, keeping things nice and smooth into the last minute of this first increment. So just keep things nice and smooth, focus on your breathing, keep sipping your drink. As much as you can, enjoy this stunning scenery, which of course, well, it just absolutely takes your breath away. So in fact, there'll be two things to take your breath away today. The stunning scenery in the Dolomites and the efforts themselves. So warming up nicely now. Just 20 odd seconds to go before we're going to move things up to an effort level of 6. And again, in terms of potential for FTP, we're moving up 5% each time. So at the end of the session, you're going to be riding at around 110% of your FTP. So start to lift things up slightly here. There you go, effort level of 6 now. I've just slightly increased my cadence. I've not used my gears for this one. I think I was just pedaling slightly under 90. I think I'm just on it or over it now. And this sort of effort, this sort of session, it teaches you how to sort of measure your effort, gradually increase things, instills a sort of discipline, and also the type of effort. You get focused, you can think about the way you're pedaling the machine, the way you sit on the bike, and the way you transmit the energy through the bike. Again, gradually turning that screw. So it should be at 70% of FTP roughly at the moment. Still on Dan's wheel. Looking pretty smooth, isn't he? Every now and again, if you want to, don't be afraid, as long as you keep the power the same, the effort the same, gear up a little bit, couple of revs out of the saddle just to stretch your back, relax your backside a little bit, and then back down into the rhythm. It's perfectly acceptable to do. You certainly don't want a sore backside in a session like this. So the next perceived effort level will be 6.5, 30 seconds to go until we reach that part. And Lloyd is still in the front, looking very strong. And actually it was Dan who designed this particular session. Interesting though that he sat this one out. Stay nice and focused into the last 10 seconds and just move things up gradually. Here we go. Okay, to 6.5. I've just changed gear here. Though it says on the screen there, effort level of 6, 6.5, it will move up to 7. So every 2-minute increase is half an effort level, as it were, and 5% of your FTP. Try and keep things nice and smooth. Another sip. Sound of the trainer and the sound of my voice tapping away. I try and imagine the road noise if you're out on this climb. And I say if you haven't been to this part of the world before, you really need to get yourself out there. It really is beautiful. And the Maratona, what a challenge. The longest of the Maratona, 3 rides, 138k, 7 climbs. As I mentioned before, this is the third one you'll encounter on the day. So well into the final minute of this 6.5 perceived effort level. We're moving up to 7. So things just really start to bite a little bit. Think about your breathing, keeping it controlled as you would on a climb. As we move further, deeper into the climb, things incrementally get harder and harder, but you know when they come, so you can prepare for it. So 10 seconds now before we nudge things up. 3, 2, and 1. Up to 7 now. Audible change in the sound of my Cyclops hammer as I increase the rev slightly. So hold that 90 RPM. I said before, it doesn't matter if you're slightly over or you're slightly under. Ride what's comfortable, but certainly you don't want to be spinning too high, and this certainly isn't a torque session. find what's comfortable for you, and 90 is a really good guide. And if you're new to this sort of thing, definitely worth getting yourself a cadence monitor, if not a power meter, and a heart rate monitor. You really get to know your own body and where your levels are on a session like this. And still it's Lloydie there in front, Blasty tucking in on his wheel. And as we get further and further into this climb, I think if we look at the trees, we're just about starting to get into the snow line. Dusting of snow on these trees. There could be a little bit of snow on the ground around the time of the Maratona. Would be absolutely stunning. And we're happy to go out too. I'm very much looking forward to it. And this is actually a pretty good training exercise. Passo Sella. So still 90 RPM, still the effort level of 7. Now in around 15 seconds time, I'm going to move it up to 7.5 effort level. So it doesn't say so on this particular screen, but just lift it slightly, half an increment as it were. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, 7.5 now. So 7.5 perceived effort level. So you should be around 85% of your FTP now. So this should still feel sustainable, but now we're getting into the realms of it just being a little bit uncomfortable. So try and keep the form on the bike, keep your shape on the bike. Think about the most efficient application of power through the pedals. So at the end of this little increment of 7.5 before we move to 8, we'll be halfway. Keep it going. Just think about the benefits you'll get from these indoor sessions. Each one unique. If this is the first one you've seen, make sure you check out the other ones on our playlist. And you'll soon have a whole collection. And it's almost like you're there in the Dolomites, in your front room or your garage. Little cheeky out the saddle bit there for me just to stretch the legs. So effort level still 7.5, 75% your FTP. 20 revs out the saddle, I think. Oh, that's nice. And back into rhythm ASAP. So we're going to move now in just under 10 seconds into perceived effort level of 8, 2, 1. Here we are. Get my gear selection right, that's better. This should be beginning to hurt. Still sustainable. Measuring your effort. Just look at the clock, ticking away. And as the clock ticks away, think about your revolutions. 90 RPM. That's more like it. The next one after this, of course, 8.5, and that'll be 85% your FTP, and then we'll just nudge past your functional threshold power and into the realms of very uncomfortable indeed. So a minute to go of this 2-minute sector of this Passo Sella ramp. Getting a very different feel to a lot of the other sessions. The other sessions peppered with different sorts of efforts. This is far more gradual, like a ramp basically, of course. The clue is in the name. self-imposed increase in pace, increase in effort level. It's a great way to practice riding these long climbs. There should be a notable increase in your breathing as well, and the burn in the legs. But it's all in the bank, all an investment for getting fitter, faster and better. So here we are, moving up to effort level 8.5, with 95% of your FTP. Effort level. It's going to seem like these 2-minute increments now are getting longer. So 8.5 perceived effort, 95% of your FTP, give or take. Try and stick on 90 RPM. Keep drinking. I've been chatting too much, I think. Time for a sip. Keep it going. Absolutely fine. There's a few revs out of the saddle. Well into the final increment, back end of it. And we move up to perceived effort level of 9. Keep focused. Keep it focused. 90 RPM. Tap that rhythm out. Let these amazing surroundings in the Dolomites inspire you. Okay, effort level of 9 now. Lift things again. Just going to be on 100% of your FTP. Keep it smooth. Control your breathing. You may notice I talk less during these final few minutes. I hope you'll forgive me. Dig in. A lot of sweat there. Need a couple more increments to go after this. You're doing so well. Well into the last minute, and we're going to nudge it up again to 9.5, which is 105% of your FTP. 35 seconds to go. Stay focused. It's all that rhythm, metronomic. Pain management. It's all up here. And the fact you're doing this session says to me you know what you're doing. To be inspired by yourself as well. Okay, effort level 9.5. 2 minutes. 105% of your FTP. This is basically quite rude now. The top of the Passo Sella is nearing. Peaks out 2,244 meters above sea level. The air is thin. Dan's thin. Get yourself centered. Slight nudge out the saddle. Keep it going. Come on. 3 minutes to go until a well-earned warm down. But don't give up. Actually, Dan's taken a flyer. Let's see if we can gradually catch him. This is a great way of testing your fitness over time. Looking at your power and your heart rate, aligning them to your training zones. Although we're not going quite to exhaustion, this sort of sustained effort means we won't be far from it. And also a great measured way to ride some of these long climbs. 3, 2, 1. Okay, come on. Last 2 minutes. %110% of your FTP. Hun- 110% of FTP, effort level 10. Think about applying the force of the bike. Keep it smooth. 90. Tap, tap, tap. One minute to go, come on! Catch him up! There he is on the hairpin. 45 to go! Come on! $15! All the way to the line. Come on. All the way. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, don't stop pedaling. Knock it down. Effort level of 2. Compose yourself. And for the first time since you warm up and the first 2 slightly less painful increments, look at that view. Absolutely stunning, awe-inspiring, and I really do mean inspiring. So spin those legs, almost let the weight of the legs carry them over themselves. Get rid of those toxins, take a drink, reflect back on what you've done. Another session in the bag, the Passo Sella ramp. Tick in the box. Just keep those legs turning. Great session. Again, all these sessions complement each other. They're all very different. They work on different areas of training, different areas of physiology, test you differently. If you incorporate elements of all of these sessions into your training, it'll make you far fitter and a far more rounded, dynamic, versatile cyclist. and a slightly lighter one as well, looking at the amount of expelled fluids. So thanks to Lloydie for that one. Cheers, Dan. Another brute to add to the collection. And I'll certainly enjoy my tea tonight. So just keep spinning. Effort level of 2. Another fantastic session to have in your armoury. Okay, 30 seconds. So you're nearly done. Fantastic effort there. Give yourself a pat on the back. Here we are, just at the top. Hopefully there's a little coffee place in there. Could do with a brew. Some sort of pick-me-up. But congratulations. That was the ramp on the Passo Sella. Now, if you've watched this, you don't want to miss any more of our videos. If you click on the globe to subscribe to GCN, it is free. You won't miss another video. It'll all end up in your inbox. And for another training session, this time a Campo Longo, how about clicking just down here? And for the beautiful Falzarego session, click just down here. All the best.